through it. I'm only mentioning this because it was a kind of comic incident, but it also underscored class distinctions. The barracks sergeant, actually a great guy, African American, a really sweet guy. We all liked him. We teased him a lot too. He took an awful lot from us. He probably wanted to kill us. So a lot of these guys were kind of insensitive, wise guys, but he was great. But he had said to Paul once, he said, "God, you missed this, you missed it." He was criticizing Paul Silverstone's mopping job, or his cleaning job, right? And Paul said to him, we all thought it was very funny at the time. He said, but of course we didn't appreciate the underlying class distinctions here. He said, I'm sorry. He said, they didn't give mopping courses at Harvard. That was his response. Actually, a guy who probably had some sensitivity in this area, but his response we all thought was funny. We couldn't at that time appreciate how, in a way, insensitive it was. And being on this base in particular, with the great mix of people that were here, people from every class, every distinction, almost every race. I mean, we had poor whites, illiterate, from Appalachia, poor blacks, also illiterate, and they were assigned to the motor pool. We got slotted in according to our backgrounds, educational backgrounds or whatever. And then people from Ivy Leagues, let's say Larry Levinson was from Johns Hopkins, Paul Silverstone from Harvard, other people from Yale. And in the morning, these Ivy League graduates were out in the morning policing the grounds, picking up cigarette butts, you know. And some of us appreciated then that there was a kind of in-your-face democracy at work here, which was good. Some of them felt ill-used, that they were being misused, given their backgrounds and their intelligence, but it wasn't really all that bad when you come right down to it. However, having said that, a bit of a hypocrite that I was, I connived to get out of doing the policing of the grounds in the morning. I got out of that, I don't know what it was called, roll call in the morning, by sleeping behind my mural. Nobody knew if I was there or not. I used it also to get a KP. So you see, looking back on it, I mean, everybody thought it was cool. Everybody thought I was so cool. I guess doing a mural was cool. I became kind of a cultural event on the base. I got invited to dinners, one time also by one of the German scientists. And it was, again, terribly interesting. One of the German scientists helped me get my application together for the University of Mexico. So I'm hopping and skipping and jumping here. So I'm not giving you a clean continuum. You can jigsaw puzzle this together later on. Okay, hit me with another question.
So how do you feel coming back 60 years later?
Well, again, I repeat, I was here in 2005, and that's when I signed it, right, yeah. How do I feel about it? Well, a little overwhelming. When I heard I was going to be interviewed on camera, I thought, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I was hoping I'd get a call from Bill saying, we had to reschedule this, Bob, or we're adjourning this whole operation. Well, I felt greatly relieved. Now that I'm here, it's great, and I feel, to say the least, enormously flattered. And Bill has been magnificent. He has put himself out for us and has made this trip so very exciting. And of course, I appreciate that mostly from my family. Unfortunately, we started to do this, I think, almost 2 years ago was the initial contact I made with, first it was with Stan, forgotten his name. Berman, thank you, yes. And then Bill took over. And I wish I had done it a bit longer ago because I could see better then. I'm really kind of hurting visually wise now. But it was still very exciting to do this and coming down here. And Bill has been magnificent through this whole thing. And I was so lucky I was able to bring a former student of mine. He's over there somewhere, Steve Archella. Great artist, great photographer, great support guy. And he came along. His wife was supposed to come along too, but she got an important promotion and wasn't able to make the trip. Let's see. Come on, you got to have more on that book.
I don't.
Okay, all right.
Bob,
Yes,
The caricatures that you showed us,
yes,
those look like the ones that are in the newspaper.
they were. These are all from the
So
post.
you drew all those?
I drew them, yeah. Those guys sat for me.
What is funny is that every one of them, they have a little piece of paper on the left side, and where they're in there, you gave them names. One said thick lips.
I did not.
Big nose.
No, Bill, I didn't. I would never say that about those guys. Maybe other things, but I wouldn't have said that, no. No, what happened was the person at the editor at the newspaper had to identify them in order to match, I guess, the photograph to the article or to whatever he was writing, the blurb he was writing. He gave them those names. I did not. When I looked at it, I thought, oh my God. And those names did not appear in the newspaper. That was for his own,
No, I know
his own personal reference. I know.
But that's really great information, because I thought each one of the artists maybe did their own caricature.
No, I did every one. I did all of them. Yes.
Very good.
All right. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
We have the general here, sir.
Oh.
Fantastic. So if you could move the camera right,
Ooh.
that would be great. Come over here. We just finished up an interview, kind of, that Leah did with him.
General Sanchez.
Hey, it's a pleasure to meet
It's a
you.
pleasure to meet you, sir.
I really,
I'm honored that you're here.
I like to come here and visit just so I can see your paintings.
I'm honored with that remark, too. Thank you so much for saying that.
Hope your visit's going good so far, and you're
Well,
bringing back some memories, hopefully
of this, yeah.
pleasant ones.
Yeah, a lot of memories. I was here in 2005, and the base still looked essentially the same as when I was here in 1957. I was happy to see that. The detachment, Det 1, Detachment 1, Detachment 2, they were still there. The Post Theater was still around. It hadn't changed. But now it seems to have changed a lot since 2005. Bill tells me they bulldozed, demolished a lot of it and changed a lot. So I was a little bit sad about that. I couldn't orient myself as I had been able to do in 2005. So that was a little bit disorienting. But again, I'm very honored that you're here, sir.
Oh, no problem. You wouldn't want to miss it.
Very
I'm honored you're here. What's
Go
that?
ahead, sorry.
No.
My son is here, and my daughter-in-law, and my 2 grandchildren,
Nice to meet you,
and
sir.
my son Christopher.
Hey, Chris. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Marlo.
Milo.
Hello, I'm Kira.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And Stephen Ocella over there, former
Steve is
student,
a student
outstanding,
and has known
former
Bob
student.
since he, yes, a
Former
former
student.
student, since he was like 13 years old.
Really?
Yeah. Steve
Not
is-
quite, I think it was probably more like 15 or 16. I don't know, Steve, what was it? Do you
It
recall?
was closer to 13.
You were closer to 13? Oh my
He
God.
he looked 15.
You're right.
This is Bob's wife, Carol,
Hi.
Hi,
It's a
nice
pleasure to meet you.
his other grandson, Kai.
Nice to meet
Hi, Kai.
Great.
We had a really fun little day yesterday, big day, really. We saw the missile shot, we went over 100K, over to 500K, and then we went up to Trinity, and the PAC-3 guys, a couple of them were up there when we were in Ground Zero, and they were kind of watching from the background, and I walked up and they had walked through the... No, these were support
Oh,
for
okay.
PAC-3. One of them from Redstone, the other 2 guys worked here, father and son and an older guy, and they'd never been in Ground Zero, so they came in, and it was just a little bit of a love fest there. It was good. Everybody was having a great time. But what I was going to tell you, so we're looking for an oryx. They really wanted to see some oryx, right? No oryx, no oryx, no oryx. And then 2 miles before we get to SMR Gate, Steve sees it. He says, oryx in the road. And you can see it in headlights.
Awesome.
There it was. So I slow down, and that guy did not want to get out of the
He stared
road.
at
He
you.
wanted, no, he ran with the
He ran.
vehicle. So we're driving the
Really?
vehicle real slow, and he's riding next to us, and he's bugged, you know, that we're there, and he didn't quite know what to do, and he finally gets over on the other side of the road, slips and falls a little bit, gets back up, and then runs beside us. We're going like 25 miles an hour trying to kind of get by him, and he's just going full blast. And these guys get to see the whole show, you know, photographing it. Steve.
I've never seen
It
that.
was, I haven't either, 9 years here, but I don't get up on the range at night very often, but boy, it was quite the conclusion of the day. It was very
Lucky you
exciting.
attacked your vehicle because they're
Yeah.
not even there.
Yeah,
Can we get you two to stand in front of the
yeah, that's what we
For
definitely,
photos?
the general was interested in getting a photo to possibly frame and put into
Yeah,
the.
I want him standing next to the photo, not
Yeah,
not
so why
with
don't
me, just
you,
him.
Well, we need
okay,
both
if that's
of
what
them.
you wanted, okay.
We can do one with both of us. But then
Yeah,
I'd
we'll
like to
do a
get-
bunch of them.
What I want to do, if you'll allow us to, is take a picture of you with this And then I'd like to get it blown up, and where we're gonna have lunch today, maybe put it there so that other people on the range can enjoy it. Cause really, it's just the MT guys,
Oh,
they get to see it on a day-to-day basis.
right. By the way, Bill,
Yes.
one of the things I brought with me was the insert to the banana album.
Yes.
Show
Yeah,
you that poster. I had an idea you wanted to do something with that poster.
Yeah.
I got the image too much.
The general's music fan, he's, we
Oh,
play
right.
guitars together, he's a guitar player, I say, and a singer. So Bob did
Not very
an
good at either
insert
one.
for a Velvet Underground Banana album.
Oh, wow.
He was kind of friends with Andy Warhol, and he was, so he brought that along. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. So Bob, why don't we come over here?
Yeah, I'm
and-
trying to get this cuff
Fixing
button
this.
closed here. I think I got it.
Drew, do you want to keep the mic
I
on?
knew I.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay.
All right, so where would you like him, sir?
Well, let's take one together.
In
and
the
then I'll-
middle.
then we'll-
Okay.
Then we'll put
Now.
it.
You go ahead and you can direct this.
Middle?
Yep.
Okay.
Keep going, bud.
Just a little bit. This way. Right about there. That's you guys.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, gentlemen. Just come a little tighter, please.
Sure.
Great.
Sure you don't want that box taken off this, the.
Oh, I'm cropping that, that's all right.
You're
All right.
Okay.